Hello, and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today that trusts the choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between, only on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside the leader of Squaw Squad, Kaliko Yachts, who is not here, but who is here, the American Scooter Dust.
Hello, I am Scooter Dust, and I do not let my genital herpes define me.
And it was a good week for Wrestling What, as we interviewed Ash Silva on Tuesday and Solomon Stride on Wednesday. Two incredible interviews, unique interviews. Definitely go in the archives and check those out if you haven't already. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Savannah Stone from my neck of the woods, actually. She works for Santino Brothers, has a big match that's, I think, actually later today, if you're in the Glendale area. We talk about that, having a match in WWE against Nia Jax, meeting Vince McMahon, just promo work, and a hell of a lot more. You definitely want to go check that out. And then this upcoming Wednesday, we have Madness from Hong Kong. We talk Hong Kong Pro Wrestling, being one of the first pro wrestlers from Hong Kong, where pro wrestling there is right now, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely check that out on Wednesday. But until then, here's some clips.
And right after the match, Nia was so, blessed me so much and walked me over to Vince McMahon, who was watching my match, and shook my hand, and he said, "Very good job." And then Nia was like, "Yeah, Vince, he's 16 boss. She's 17 boss." And he was like, he looked double took, and he was like, "Very good job." And I remember that's one of those things where it's like, you can look at that and you can think, okay, well, I'm 24 now, damn it, did I miss it? No, I didn't. And you just have to have that positive mindset of where, for me, that moment feeds me. It reminds me, hey, if they saw it back then, imagine when they see it now,
Oh yeah.
If you know about him, he used to be called Saki, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Saki. He's my not only partner, but I think he's a soulmate to me, even back then. Oh, he, Holland, and me, three of us, also the first generation of the educated breath. And Saki and I, we find ourselves very interesting. We were making a tag team called The Myth, right?
Okay.
You know our tag team name is called The Myth, right?
Yeah.
So The Myth is name. We were inspired from the Greek, the myth, those things, because during a long time ago, it's very, for me, even for him, we both agree we are so hard to find someone that you can truly talk about many stuff. But even though we were so different, even the political view, our beliefs, and even our football position, he played left back and I played right back. So we always joking around. He's the left and I'm the right. If the left wing, I'm the right wing. Even the political view also. If the left wing, I'm the right wing. But after all of that, we're so different, but we are so comparable. We can be tag team partner. And even back then, I think it's the very few guys I can talk. We can discuss about the philosophy. Yeah, I mean the real philosophy.
Right, and then on Wednesday we have Vegan Thunderbolt On the 24th, we have Guillermo. On the 29th, which is a Monday, we have Cornboy. On the 30th, we have Keyshawn Calloway. On the 31st, we have Zombie Dragon. And then on August 6th, we have Green Phantom. So lots of big interviews coming up for the rest of July. You could always follow Wrestling Wit on social media at Wrestling with E for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Scooter?
Oh, I say so.
Alright, then let's get into it. A bit of news that broke this week, yesterday, I believe, was CJ Perry the Platypus, no longer with AEW. No longer with her husband either. I didn't really feel like Lana / CJ was a great fit for AEW to begin with. I kind of felt she was only there because of who she was with. I felt like she could have had a lot more to give, if only they let her. But that's AEW for you. What are your thoughts on Lana / CJ leaving AEW?
Well, here's the thing. A number of months ago, CJ was almost close to death.
Oh, that's right. Didn't she have like a wrist infection?
A staph infection from a finger. Only one finger, and it just kept getting worse. But now she's, I believe, completely on the mend. So it's good for her. She wants to come back to the WWE. Here's the even stranger part. The rumors are that she's dating Damian Priest.
The fuck?
Yeah. She hasn't been on any sort of AEW TV since World's End, since turning on Andrade. And that's about it. She has aspirations of being the female Paul Heyman.
I think that's a little far-fetched, but good for her for having aspirations. Hashtag goals.
See, I think she could. I think she'd be a great fit backstage if she just. Because it seems they're going through backstage. Yeah, they're going through backstage interviewers like they're breath mints.
And that is a topic for later in the show, but I would say that she would be wasted as a backstage interviewer. She was on the front lines wrestling for WWE. I don't think she even got physical in AEW.
Yeah.
The thing about her is the only thing that's holding her back is her in-ring ability, and that she wasn't the best wrestler in the world. But I feel like her character always made up for that. Whatever they gave her to work with, storyline-wise, she made work. And I don't think she was... And Lana has always been over in WWE. I don't think she was more over than when she had that rivalry with Nia Jax, where she kept putting her through the table. And I feel like that actually made fans kind of respect her a little bit more and say, she's not just here for,
Well, going through tables seems to be the way to earn respect these days.
Very true. Was she
We'll get to
fired?
that later in the show.
Was she fired or did she leave?
I think she was she was just released. I mean, I don't think she was I don't think her contract ran out. I think she was just part of the cuts in 2022.
That sounds right. I want to say it's right. All right. So we're kind of unanimous that WWE return is probably in the works.
Probably. I wouldn't say the same for ex-husband Miro. I mean, unless you somehow get Miro back to being Rusev, and then you stick Rusev on TNA, and then you have Matthew Reinhold, aka the former Aiden English, talk about how much it's Rusev Day.
Oh God, yeah.
That's all I want to hear. I just want to hear one. It's Rusev Day.
Yeah. Aiden English was never more over than when he was saying somebody else's name.
Yeah.
Talking about getting over somewhere else, Stephanie Vaquer. We talked about her last week as she lost to Mercedes Monet. As you would expect, everybody was interested in her, signing her, WWE, AEW. She was already kind of with New Japan, and obviously she was a part of CMLL. Well, all of that changed in a matter of maybe 24 hours. She has officially signed with WWE.
Yep.
No question, no questions unanswered. Just it happened. Shawn Michaels welcomed her to the family, and she'll be reporting to NXT soon.
Wait for it. She's advertised for this weekend's events in Mexico.
Oh, that's right. And a couple of New Japan shows as well.
Yeah. CMML stripped her of her titles.
Which is odd, because the last match she had in CMLL was against Chessa Blanchard, and you would have thought, that would have been a good place to take the belt off of her.
I mean, God, she has to be the second most talked about female wrestler after Julia.
But it's not necessarily for the right reasons, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, she's doing what she wanted to do, which is great. I mean, more talent should have that much influence over their careers. The question is, do you think she was signed kind of out of spite?
What do you mean?
Like, we know Tony Khan will sign people out of spite.
Well, yeah.
And hell, he'll make them champion.
That has not been seen in AEW yet, but I understand where you're getting at.
But the fact that she's coming off a high-profile loss to one of their former talents, who has a ton of controversy surrounding them, this makes me think that they're gonna try and mold her into a Sasha Banks replacement.
I mean, that might be a little far-fetched. But
it might also be because since NXT introduced a secondary singles title for women, the rumor is there's going to be a secondary singles title on the main roster.
Right. But
Um, yeah.
I don't necessarily see. Well, I mean, obviously WWE signed CM Punk out of spite, and maybe just shits and giggles to say, "Hey, we reached out, we offered them something," and it worked out for them.
Hell Pro's over.
Correct. So I don't see what would have been out of the realm of possibilities where they say, well, she just came off this match, and there's a bit of buzz about her. Let's see if she's interested, and obviously she was, and it's just kind of a checkmate on their part to say, nada nada nada, we got her and you didn't. Uh, that being said, not a lot of people were happy about it. CMLL seemed took it personally that they did a lot for her, and she kind of just up and left. It is. It will be seen to remain if she will make any other dates with CMLL after this. She was advertised for the San Jose New Japan show. I think yesterday, or maybe it was today.
Her she's actually wrestling at the Mexico events. You don't have those results. We'll have those next week. And we'll see if she shows up on NXT on Tuesday.
Right. I kind of feel like, obviously CMLL has, some reason to be upset, and, New Japan as well. They advertised her for shows, and, she's not showing up because he signed. Whether or not she could have made those shows if she, even though she signed, has yet to be seen. But another reason I heard through the grapevine was that her ex actually works for CMLL, and he has threatened to kill her in the past, and it was a way to get away from the company.
She dating Vampiro?
No, it wasn't Vampiro, but
Wasn't Rey Mysterio, was it?
No, he's been married to Angie for years.
Yeah.
You know this.
But Rey Mysterio kills motherfuckers.
Oh, yes, this is true. So it's more than just necessarily pro wrestling. That's involved in these decisions. I'm just really confused as to why there's so much negativity around it. Anybody else, it's yay, she signed, and it just seems because it was an AEW, it kind of made people butthurt in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they think because she wrestled a Forbidden Door, she owes something to AEW, which is really terrible thinking. Because we never heard anything about her signing a contract with AEW. That was never the case. And it's clear that Tony didn't want her.
Well, I mean, I heard that he put an offer for
her. Did he? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I heard that everybody was interested in signing her. Her contract was up, and New Japan, CMLL, AEW, and WWE all gave her offers.
Okay, here's an interesting thing. She was once asked to pick between an AEW and WWE contract. I
did not hear that.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. I'm seeing this on a Reddit thread, so I guess we could take this with
A grain
whatever
of salt.
a grain of salt, but it's actually from a clip, an X clip,
Okay.
and she grew up on WWE.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she's Chilean.
Chile.
WWE is huge in Chile right now.
Are you
It
saying
is,
that WWE is hot in Chile?
especially with beans.
I only take my chili on hot dogs.
See, and here's the thing: the one place the WWE is yet to go is South America. I mean, ever since they created the Intercontinental title.
Well, I mean, the first ever a champion was crowned in Rio de Janeiro, so I mean,
Yeah.
why do you need to go back? I mean, you literally hit the Mecca right off the bat.
For going everywhere else. And honestly, I think that's the reason the WWE made the offer to her. Is because they know she's kind of a gateway into a new market.
And she's how do I put this? A medium-sized Selena Vega with maybe more talent.
God, like I used to say, okay, if you put Mandy Rose, Alexa Bliss, and damn it, who's the small, medium, and Liv Morgan together? That's it. You had small, medium, and large. Because I'll always believe they're the same person. All three of them. A more talented Zelina Vega? I mean, Zelina Vega has really improved. But that's possibly a oh, okay. Here's an interesting point. Somebody describing Meltzer's narrative around Vaquer in the Observer said it sounded almost like it was apologetic to AEW for not getting her by slyly implying, oh, this silly girl had WWE dreams, indoctrinated from birth. She was never gonna choose you regardless.
Right.
And that's kind of really, I mean, it's really kind of unfair to her. AEW could have asked her to sign before Forbidden Door, since she was able to quit CMLL like that with no need for a no compete clause. Tony could have signed her before Forbidden Door.
I mean, yeah, but why settle for Burger King when you could have filet mignon?
He wanted to milk the fact that she was still CMLL and New Japan Strong Champion before signing her, and that backfired on him.
I don't think it backfired on him, if I'm being honest. I think that if the offer from WWE was there, she was gonna take it no matter what. I don't think that it was, an either or. I think it was just, it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, she was going to choose WWE regardless. because she grew up on it. That's her dream.
Right.
I can understand why CMLL is pissed because of such sudden giving up. But again, if those rumors are true about her personal welfare, then good. I hope she stays safe. I hope. I wish her all the success in the world.
I honestly think that they have something with her. I think that I think New Japan maybe understood what they had with her because she was a great talent, and it is quite interesting that 2 out of the 4 New Japan strong women's champions have signed to WWE. The other one being Julia. Um, and
Yeah, but but here's the thing. Even if she had still stayed with New Japan, she could still work with New Japan.
I mean, she could technically work with Noah since WWE has a relationship with Noah.
Yeah, that's I mean, that or New Japan. Yeah, I mean, because that's a working the working relationships they have and they want.
Like you said, she doesn't owe. The only thing she owes AEW is a thank you for a paycheck that they gave her.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
She did a
Perfect.
job. She did the job. When she honestly she held the cards. She could have said that don't work for me, brother. She didn't.
Yeah.
She took the L. It gave her the opportunity to go where she actually wanted.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to say, because it doesn't seem like anybody wants to say it, congratulations on going to WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was no way Mercedes Moné was the superior wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no way she was ever going to be considered the superior wrestler. But clearly, Stephanie Vaquer knew what this could lead to. And you know what? This is like a real like I don't want to say success story yet, but it's on its way there, and I think it could be absolutely inspiring for young women everywhere who want to get into pro wrestling.
I agree. Alright, talking about inspiring the women, it is rumored and innuendoed that there is possibly a secondary women's title going to be put on Raw and SmackDown. I personally love the idea. I think we need a Netflix women's champion and a USA women's champion. I think just calling it the United States champion and Intercontinental champions, the women's version, is kind of lazy, but I digress. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and you can't use any sort of like description of women now. You can't call it the Knockouts Championship. I mean, what if they just decide, you know what? Bring the Knockouts over.
I mean, bring Marcia over.
Make that you're going to be our secondary title. I mean, a women's intercontinental championship. Yeah, that's a little lazy. I don't like the fact that NXT's secondary singles is the women's North American. That just it doesn't sound right rolling off the tongue. It feels like it's a lot to say. I mean, the idea of a Netflix championship. Uh, the question is that will they have like 3 tiers? Like if like will they have to win like 3 matches to so there's no commercials?
And you have to pay a certain amount of money to get into those matches to begin with.
And you can't share titles with anybody else. The Freebird rule is automatically disabled.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
A Netflix championship, I think, would be the best and the worst idea at the same time.
And you would only be able to defend it 6 times in a row, and then you have to wait a
watch
year and a half.
commercials.
Huh?
And then you have to watch a ton of commercials.
I kind of, I dig this idea. I don't think it's going to be as fun or entertaining as we're making it out to be.
Yeah.
But
What if there is? Okay, I'll throw this out there. An uncensored championship.
are you implying what I think you're implying?
Not a hardcore championship. You might as well call it the rated R championship. The NC-17 championship.
Well, I mean, there are, without WWE on Netflix currently, I will say there are a lot of titties.
I mean, if the L and the I blend together, you can call it the Netfucks championship.
Will you stop it?
Because WWE Raw on Netflix is gonna be uncensored.
And my only regret was that the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio storyline wasn't on Netflix. We got it now.
Mm.
Because
I mean,
these last couple of weeks it was pretty explicit, and risky for just
I mean, Liv doing the Eddie Guerrero shimmies made me feel funny in the pants.
Well, I mean that's I don't think that was supposed to.
The question is that starting in 2025, are they going to require more of female wrestlers than they did in the Attitude Era?
Huh? I mean, if this was the attitude, I mean, keep in mind that they asked Jackie to completely go topless during the match.
Yeah.
But I think that, if this was the Attitude Era, 100%, yeah, we would have gotten something of that nature. But we're a little bit more respectful of the women, trying to bring them up rather than put them in those positions.
Yes, but the question remains: are the women? And you know what? Look, we got to put the men in there too. Be asked to do, more, acting, as if it were. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it: nudity.
I mean, yeah, that will.
Unless Netflix has established rules for its live, broadcast, because this is Netflix's first attempt for a consistent live broadcast. They've only done it twice before, and that was with stand-up specials.
The one was the Chris Rock special.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the fact, the idea of making it a little more adult, and we've seen it going back to being a little bit more adult, as you said, with Dominic and Liv. All that innuendo.
I mean, it was a little bit more than innuendo.
Yeah, in her end though. I mean, is it any different than Rhea, pulling up her trunks, flexing her ass, and then giving Nia Jax a stink face?
I mean, that was a live event. It wasn't necessarily recorded by WWE. More on the lines of people at the event. So I mean,
Will they? Will they feel? Will they feel it's empowering, or will they feel it's demeaning? That's the question.
I don't even think
If,
it's a matter of that. I think it's a matter of will their sponsors allow this, and if the sponsors aren't feeling these things, then I think it would be better left off TV.
I mean, no, I'm not. No, I'll mention this later. That's something really okay. I mean, if somebody makes their way into like the male like showers, and we get like a full like thing of like like dong.
Dom Strong.
No, not dong. No, just look at the random dong. They gotta really like make it like 5 feet and hit the ground just so it's like swinging everywhere.
Will you stop it?
It's like I don't know if you ever saw basketball
What?
with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, but when they did the whole scene in a locker room, every time they turn them around, their dick swung too.
Well, I could definitely scratch that movie off. Seeing it.
I mean, sponsored by Mark Wahlberg and Boogie Nights. Hey.
What was we talking about? Oh yeah, the secondary women's title.
Oh yeah, that's right. Pro wrestling.
So, in all honesty, it's probably just going to be the Intercontinental and United States Championship.
It should be the Fabulous Moolah Championship.
Well, we were supposed to get a Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. That didn't work out.
You know what? How about the Sherry Martel Championship?
I would think that. But I do like. Would you say that it would maybe be a better idea to scrap the tag team championships for these new women's championship secondary titles?
Yes, absolutely.
Would it be overkill to keep the women's tag team champions and the secondary championships?
Yes. I really think they're gonna approach it from as TNA did to the digital media perspective. And watch it be like the broadband championship or the streaming championship. I mean, they've created a show based on matches that only last 3 minutes.
This is true.
And they called it the Speed Championship. I can't wait for the Cocaine Championship.
Wasn't Speed cocaine?
No. No, Speed is more amphetamine.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Yeah. You know what? Name the titles after gemstones.
Then you would have to give Jay Cargill the J Championship.
You got or you could do it like the Olympics, or you got the Platinum Championship, the Diamond Championship, the Copper Championship, the Tungsten Championship. The Tungsten. We could finally get another Tungsten match.
Speaking of champions, Ethan Page, former AEW alumni, won the NXT championship last Sunday on Heatwave.
You know, I forget what other match we talked about this, but I called an ending like this for another match.
I mean, it could have been NXT. We don't review.
No, we didn't do a preview for it, but God, I can't remember what match it was. Like, if they'd watch him take a move and then just fall onto him and win the title that way. And when I watched it, I'm like, oh shit, deja vu, man. But it's record breaking. He now holds the record for quickest to championship after a debut.
At least
That, I mean, if you really want to be technical, that decision technically does go to Hulk Hogan.
I mean, didn't Kevin Owens win it like a month after he came into the company?
No. It was either was it 40 days. The previous record from debut to championship, not counting Santino Marella, is Brock. It could have been AJ, but AJ lost.
After WrestleMania.
Yeah. Brock went from after WrestleMania 18 to SummerSlam.
Right.
4 months, 160 days. So, that's record setting. And let's not forget, also former TNA alum.
Is this, but what I'm kind of getting at is, we talked about spite and getting back at AEW. Is this a big middle finger to AEW as this guy was lower mid card and we made him our champion because you didn't see the value in him?
See, here's the thing, is that people don't realize Ethan Page wasn't with AEW for very long, and his debut was so hyped. That he debuted in that ladder match where you had to grab the hemorrhoid ring or the Sonic the Hedgehog ring.
Was that his first match, legit?
Yeah, that was his debut, yeah. Which I also believe was the same match Christian Cage debuted in. But hey, you know what? Another page that turned.
Very true. And congratulations to him because he is an underappreciated talent, without a doubt. And
Not to mention, it's getting Sean Spears the attention he finally deserves.
Did Sean Spears deserve attention?
Now he does. This is some of the best work Sean Spears has ever done in WWE. And whether he ever wins the title or not, I don't think matters at this point.
I don't think he's won a title in any of WWE.
Nope. But it's I find it interesting that they're taking the belt off Trick so early, because Trick is super over. He is super over.
I mean, he's super over, But what did he really do with the championship?
I mean, he's the man that beat the friggin' Mad Russian.
Okay, that's how you got the title. But when the biggest thing you've done in your title reign, notoriety worthy, is that you were second by Sexy Red, then you may have a problem. You know what I mean?
It's true. But let us not forget that there was also another rookie in this match.
That young OG guy.
Yeah, Javon Evans, who is way more bouncy than I think Sin Cara and Ricochet combined. Like this kid is doing things I didn't think the human body could do. I mean, it's impressive, but at the same time, you know, it's the same thing that kind of pigeonholed Ricochet, in that you're a spot monkey, and you kind of got to keep one upping yourself.
I haven't seen a lot of him, and what I did see of him, I wasn't necessarily impressed with. I kind of feel like, when you're that young and getting a title opportunity, it's kind of like, what did you really do to deserve it? Just my mentality of it.
I mean, he did win a battle royal.
Oh, gee, he's been there 3 months, 20 years old, and he won a battle royal.
I mean, but and again, I really think he only did it because he could do spots that nobody else can.
And I also think that they added, but I think that it was planned to begin with, but
See,
they definitely didn't have faith in him to have, a one-on-one match with Trick.
Yeah, but then they took him out of the main event on NXT TV.
And who did they put? You say his name, and he shall appear.
I mean, and they did the whole I believe in Joe Hendry thing before they even played his music.
Because they knew. Because they believed in Joe Hendry.
Like, it was funny because earlier in the night, Gallus was talking about that fake Scott, and Mark Coffey said, "Don't say his name."
It's weird how Joe Hendry is the most over guy in WWE, and he literally does not work for the company.
Yeah, and the fact that all we've seen of him, aside from his time in a battle royal, was a meme essentially, and people have started referring to him as Jump Scare Joe because it will randomly appear, and I love it. It's like a not frightening boogeyman. It's like a boogeyman I want to boogie with.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Joe.
And Vince is at home going, "Oh my God, this is such shit! God damn it, Paul!"
Yeah,
Nobody believes in Jim Hendrix. Jim Hendrix is dead.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one.
Vince will.
But no, I cannot wait for Joe Hendry to make some type of WWE main roster debut. You see the signs literally everywhere. When Drew McIntyre was having his meltdown at the after
I saw the sign.
there was a big Joe Hendry sign right behind him. And it was interesting. They made no efforts to cover it or to switch camera angles.
if TNA wasn't working with NXT primarily, I'd say, you know what? Try something at Survivor Series.
That would be interesting.
Um,
You know, hear me out. Drew is, on his rampage right now. At some point, he's going
no,
to.
he's not on AEW. What are you talking about?
Um, yeah, yeah, you're right. He's on his Raw, SmackDown, Rage.
He's having his tantrum.
Yes. Um, how do you once that everything subsides with CM Punk and things calm down? Who would be somebody to kind of restore the old Drew McIntyre that we know and love? Well, somebody that would have to make him believe.
Oh my God.
Have him team up with Joe Henry and let
God.
him learn how to love again.
You're basically turning Joe Hendry into Tinkerbell.
I was gonna say more of DDP in 2002.
Yeah, but so Tony Robbins DDP was a heel.
I think he was more of a face when it came to. I mean, he wrestled Christian and he beat him.
Yeah, but that's like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do this like, you gotta this is one time they have to overkill.
Oh, and you don't think that Joe Henry
Oh.
overkills things?
Oh no! I'm saying, if you're gonna do it, go way past 88 miles per hour.
Oh yeah.
Let Joe Hendry work his magic, and by magic I mean the guy literally doesn't have to do a damn thing.
I mean,
Like,
I feel like we've seen it.
like Joe, as somebody, I saw a lot of comparisons. Joe Hendry is essentially a face Bray Wyatt.
Oh god. I love that.
That he's just appearing in like random places.
Yeah.
And it's like that meme. It literally is. That picture is a meme from his theme music in his video, where he's just clapping and turning around.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, we could have had like friggin' see, I can't remember any of the old memes from the beginning of the internet. Dramatic little chipmunk, T Zonde and Cherry Chocolate Raid. So the baby that won't stop laughing. God. Yeah.
I think
They can't see, when he made his debut in the Battle Royal, he kind of had the air of a jobber on him.
because he got eliminated almost immediately.
Yeah, and people didn't think TNA took him seriously, or they didn't know. But then now he's getting put into the main event when, let's face it, in reality, he's got no reason to be there. There's no logic behind making him Trick's partner in that match.
I mean, if he had nobody else to be his tag team partner.
That is the beauty of it. It's that it's almost like Joe Hendry is adapting a gimmick of a superhero. Like he's coming to the aid of people that need him.
I mean, that is
He's
basically the
he's motherfucking Batman.
he's better than Bray Wyatt.
He's Batman. He ain't wearing hockey pads.
I feel like if they give him the opportunity, the sky's the limit. And the in the two small roles that he's had in WWE, he's made the most of it. And and I don't think that that's going to necessarily go unnoticed from WWE. You know what I mean?
Yep. And all I want to see is Joe Hendry down in a match, and the audience is just going, "I believe, I believe, I believe," and they're clapping, and they friggin' Tinkerbell him back to life.
I mean, it's a possibility.
My God, what a world pro wrestling is turned into.
That's a great segue into going from Joe Henry to Joe Tessitore, who will be
Yeah.
doing WWE commentary on SmackDown starting this summer.
Not only that, he's supposed to be the head commentator.
I kind of understand why they're bringing somebody in because, you know, Corey Graves and Wade Barrett are both color guys. They're not necessarily, you know, play-by-play.
And Corey is has been cleared to compete for a long time. I'd love to see him, but actually get a chance at a match.
I wouldn't. And I don't think he does either. I think he's
Corey-
kind of
Corey
content
Gra-
where he is.
Corey Graves versus Pat McAfee.
Okay, maybe that. I mean, it would have to be Michael Cole and Pat McAfee against Corey Graves and Joe Tessitore, obviously.
but against Nick Joseph and Booker T.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, that's a match that I didn't know that I wanted to see until this very moment. What are your thoughts on Joe Tessitore joining WWE?
It it's it's interesting, but this is a pattern they're falling into. That they've done this numerous times with other sports commentators. I mean, they did it with Mike Adamle, and Mike Adamle was so bad at it that it got him over, and it got him a bigger role. They had for a small period of time they had the guy from American Ninja Warrior. I can't remember his name because his name is something so
Generic.
no. It's
Aqua Majiga Jaga Jika Jiki.
yeah, something like that. The boogie boogie boogity beat.
I don't even remember that.
It's it, can sports commentators, professional sports commentators, really transition into pro wrestling?
I thought Jimmy Smits was pretty decent.
Oh God, I almost forgot about Jimmy Smith.
There was the guy that was before him.
I know, I remember the bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
few.
God,
If I'm being honest, it only works if you replace Corey Graves with Rob Riggles. and then you have Rob Riggles, Joe Tessitore, and Wade Barrett on commentary.
Oh my
Um,
God,
Fa-
Rob Riggle on commentary. Oh my
then you
God.
then you'll have, you find out that Stephen Curry has bought SmackDown to want to bring pro wrestling to the whole entire world.
And then it turns out it gets stolen out from under him by Kevin Hart.
Um, you know,
See,
that's more likely with the
I'll tell you. That's why I bought the WWE.
Yeah, and then you have Jeannie Mai doing backstage comments, interviews. It all works out. It's Holy Moly 2.0 with
Oh
the
my
Muppets.
God, that's right. That's the thing. I loved Holy Moly.
Unfortunately, they did not get renewed.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, he does know boxing,
Okay.
uh, so he knows the importance of promoting.
I say give him a chance. I think he might actually be more entertaining than we might give him
Yeah.
credit for.
But I hope the WWE doesn't sour on him immediately, like they've done everybody else that they've tried to bring in from the world of professional sports.
You know, the unfortunate part of Triple H as the head of creative is that he likes to see if things cook and see if they actually work out. Well, Vince McMahon, if something didn't work out immediately, he would cut the cord. And I don't think there was any more evidence of this than with Kevin Patrick. Like, Kevin Patrick should have been cut like almost immediately.
I didn't have a problem with Kevin Patrick.
I hated Kevin Patrick. He was so vanilla white bread. You could almost choke on it.
But then again, so was Vince McMahon when he was on commentary.
I mean, you can't really compare Kevin Patrick to Vince McMahon. I mean, it was his company. He could say and do whatever he wanted.
I mean, Kevin Patrick? Would you compare Corey Graves to Jesse the Body?
Would you want to? I mean,
Jesse Ventura was the greatest on commentary.
oh yeah.
It doesn't matter the promotion. It was WWE or WCW.
I definitely think if they give him an opportunity to settle in and do what he needs to do, it can actually equal great shit between him, Graves, and Barrett. So we will see. You know, we're talking about all the incredible things that WWE is doing when it comes to, you know, bringing in talent, giving talent opportunity. AEW has new vignettes for a new pro wrestler named Holo.Grm.
Zentai?
Thank you.
What the? I have not seen any of this.
Yeah. Apparently it is a Tony Khan inspired character / gimmick that he is directly working with to be a major babyface in AEW. Much like the Liberians, Peter Avalon and Blue Pants.
Now, wait a minute. Did I hear that right? Did you actually Holo.Grm?
It's Holo.Grm, but
Holo. Oh God. Oh God, it's Ricochet.
oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
Oh
I
God.
can't believe that
Yeah.
completely. They said it was no. They actually said that it was some luchador that they got from Luchadors or
Oh,
Us.
okay. I mean, they got Commander and and the Viking son and El Hijo de Ice Cream. You know, that's so better than Halloween, who was a WCW luchador.
Um, I think what if Tony Khan is making a new character for AEW TV, it's doomed from the start, and that's
Uh,
just my opinion.
update Tony Khan saying it's not necessarily teasing the biggest free agent signing. Um, I could confirm. Khan was saying I could confirm that it's definitely not me in the mask. It's somebody I'm excited for. This has got to be Ricochet.
I feel like you're kind of right.
Like I can't imagine it being anything else because first of all you won't get over as hologram. I imagine him just taking off the mask, when he debuts, and just it's. I mean, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be Kane. Oh, speaking of Kane, WWE is bringing back Bad Blood in October. Which you know does seem like we're going to get a Hell in a Cell match in October.
Uh, the question is that will we get Lexus King wrestling on it?
What? Why would you say that?
Nobody remembers that Brian Pillman died the morning of Bad
Oh,
Blood.
yeah, that's right. I'm sure he
Uh,
doesn't hold that against WWE.
no. WWE had nothing. That wasn't WWE. It was his own demons. Um, it, oh God, hologram. None other than former Triple H star Aramis. Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah, no. What were we talking about again? Uh,
I don't think it matters at this point. So, another bit of news out of this week was that last Wednesday was the WrestleMania Behind the Curtain documentary. I saw it. Did you see it, Scooter?
I haven't watched it all, but I love to see them explain the fact that they kept that they fucking were Indian givers. They're like, oh, we could do this or we could do that. Fuck you. You made a fucking mistake. You knew it.
You know, it was supposed to be Behind the Curtain WrestleMania, but they sort of just honestly renamed it Good PR for The Rock. Because that's literally why it was made the way it was. It's supposed to be about Cody finishing the story. It's about The Rock being this white
Yeah,
knight in shining armor that let it all happen because he's
yeah,
such a great guy.
yeah. Being the facilitator that was able to finish the story, despite the fact that, you know, Cody stepped aside to, thinking that giving his match to The Rock meant something. And if this was the plan from the beginning, I understand. Like, but the crowd turned on The Rock,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden Cody's back in it because you were taking away the second chance. You were taking away the reason everybody was going to watch WrestleMania. As much as Rock and Roman, would be something to see, it's not a. It's not a real WrestleMania moment anymore. Cody's story it's that epic tale of the hero's journey. And they just won't admit that, okay, yeah, we screwed up and we tried to, and we're going to try and, rewrite it as best we can. They compare it to Daniel Bryan in WrestleMania 30. And I think the biggest example of this is the fact that Seth Rollins was in the tag team match on night one.
And he was barely in it.
Yeah, and the thing is that he didn't have to be. Like he was put in it because Cody earned his respect. Yeah, which is great, and not to mention Seth seeing the bigger picture. It's. I mean, they can't ever just say, we were wrong to do this. Let's let's get back on track. We're sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, everything has to have a reason. Nobody can make mistakes, apparently.
Yep. They meant to do that.
I mean, make no mistake. I love the final boss, Rock.
Eh,
Final boss mode activated.
you do realize that there was one major flaw when it comes to calling yourself the final boss, right?
It's that you actually have to be the final boss.
No, it's that the final boss is meant to be beaten.
Yes, that is true.
If you call yourself the main character or the original character of the story, then yeah, you're likely to win. But the boss is always going to lose.
I mean, you could be if he called himself the final boss, would it matter?
I mean,
Would it negate itself? And would he just be the boss? And then it's boss time? It's final boss time!
I mean, just calling yourself the boss would be fine, I suppose.
I'm sorry, WCW in 1993 called. They want their gimmick back.
Like Miko Satomura called. She wants her gimmick back.
You do when the Big Boss Man joined WCW in '93, they called him the Boss.
And the final boss was Miko Satomura's nickname before The Rock stole it.
Yeah, that's. But Miko wasn't. Miko's kind of stopped wrestling.
How's she now?
I mean, I haven't heard anything about her lately. And you would think that with everything happening, maybe they'd want to bring her in to teach a couple of things.
Agreed. Well, this wasn't a good documentary, but it was a good mockumentary. And the memes that came out of this were heaven sent. If you go on Reddit, there are just memes galore of The Rock. And then I told Andre, what if you let Hulk Hogan slam you? Then I told Vince, why don't we fuck him? If he doesn't want to do business, we do business for him. Then I told George Hackenschmidt, what if you let him go over and create pro wrestling?
And then I told Janelle Grant, what if she took her pants off?
And then I told God, what if there was light?
What if you worked a match as Sean's tag team partner?
Then he told Marty Jannetty, what if you go through the window?
What if you do some more coke?
Then I told Tony Khan, what if you call it All Elite Wrestling?
And then I told Sid, what if you use the scissors?
Oh, God. That's a deep cut. Quite bluntly.
And then I told Brutus Beefcake, what if you get hit in the face by a jet ski?
And if you like the ones that are in poor taste, then don't worry, Goldberg.
I'll be coming up with some of them. Don't worry.
Don't worry, Goldberg. He's a pro. He can take kicks.
Yeah. And then I told Adolf. And then I told Mussolini, what if you took over Italy?
And then he told Ric Flair, there is no more woo in AEW. The partnership between Ric Flair and AEW is officially over. There is no more wooing in AEW.
The Wooniverse is gone?
Apparently. But I just heard that.
But it tasted so good. No, it didn't.
Said no one.
And then I told Ric Flair, what if your final match is at WrestleMania? Or what if your final match is against Jay Lethal in 2022?
What if you told him, I'm sorry, I love you, and then you kick him?
What if I told Rick, what if you don't pay your child support?
I think we should stop before we go a lot further down the rabbit hole than we need to. I think that will conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with WWE Money in the Bank. It took place last Saturday in Toronto, Ontario, California at the Scotland Bank Arena. Which the attendance was
the Nova Scotia Locks Arena, you mean?
The attendance was 19,858. A damn near sellout, I'd say.
And a half. There was a midget.
Okay. Was he wearing a bikini?
You know, I gotta bring up this story first. Cody Rhodes once again comes to the aid of a fan, a handicap fan, who learned apparently all the handicap seating at the Scotiabank Arena had been sold out, and somehow Cody makes it possible for this fan who needed handicap seating to attend Money in the Bank.
Right. Just for context, this fan won a competition to get tickets to the event. The tickets that they were giving him were non-handicap, and they told him that they could just refund him the money instead of giving him the tickets. Isn't Cody Rhodes like the greatest human being of all time?
I mean, Cody needs to start like being part of Make-A-Wish, like ASAP. He'll surpass John Cena and Titus O'Neil in no time.
And when he met this fan in person at the event, he put his hand on his head and he said, "The Christ compels you to walk." And God damn it, that man walked again.
And then I told Judas, "What if I gave you 30 pieces of silver?"
And then I told Moses, "What if they let your people go?"
And what if I gave you 10 commandments?
Okay, now we're just getting into the history of the world. Obviously, this show was in Canada, which was a great day for Canada. Therefore, it was a great day for the world.
Canadians in Canada.
Correct. It was a typical how WWE does sell pay-per-views now. What was your thoughts on the show as a whole?
Well, it's funny because the show was advertised to start at 8 Eastern. But no, it started at 7. So I friggin' missed the opening match.
Yeah. You're not wrong with that as well. You're not alone on that as well. I had to go back.
I'm like,
restart.
I'm like, okay. The right Money in the Bank match went on second. I'll say that. I think once again the women outshined the men. But my God. It's like Drew is back in 2011. Or somehow Drew is wrestling during the Attitude Era and Triple H is burying him. But we'll get into that.
Well,
but I mean, good, a sense of not great, and main event probably shouldn't have been the main event, but you know what? We'll get into it.
All right, well, let's get into it. Drew McIntyre defeated Andrade El Idaho, Carmella Hayes, Law Knight, Jey Uso, and Chad Gable Stevenson to win the Money in the Bank briefcase in 16 minutes and 30 seconds. It kind of seems like these matches are just copy and paste at this point, with not a lot of, hey, let's do something interesting or new, or something we haven't seen before. In a way.
I mean, before Drew was in, this match was exciting for the potential of, somebody deserving of having the case. This, as we'll come to learn, was literally a prop, with no meaning behind it. It was essentially just a way to further Punk McIntyre, which didn't really need to happen again.
I disagree. But I'll let you finish your thought on that.
But did Drew need to try and cash in same night? I wish he hadn't. I wish Punk had stopped him before. But then again, I understand why Punk would wait until he actually cashed in.
Right.
I also wonder why McIntyre would attempt to do what Seth did and make it a triple threat match.
Right. I mean, Drew McIntyre had the opportunity to be the first person to cash in a Money in the Bank briefcase opportunity on the person
who cashed in on him.
Yeah. That's great storytelling now.
See, you don't remember when we were talking about, the ideas of what haven't they done with the Money in the Bank briefcase? And one of the things I said was, what if, the person hasn't cashed in until the next Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
And for like an hour, we have two men's Money in the Bank holders. That's kind of what it felt like.
I get that.
I still think they just want the statistics. I'm just, I don't know, but it almost feels like Drew brocked his way into the match.
Yeah, somewhat. So the reason I disagree with you that it was wasted, because at the time of the match I did kind of feel the same way. The way that it wasn't wasted is it brings Seth Rollins into the storyline.
Yes, and then they get around Seth saying he won't have to challenge.
Right.
And it also makes Priest look like an honorable champion.
And it also, Punk and Rollins didn't really have a reason to feud with each other. It was primarily for the championship. He had it. He wanted it.
But let's not forget that everybody kind of thought that Punk and Rollins was going to be the first feud back for him.
And it was until
Punk got in, Punk injured himself in the Royal Rumble.
until Drew prayed that would happen to him. So,
I mean, Drew, taking responsibility for his consequences. I mean, all of this over a fucking shirt.
yeah. But
Like,
I think it didn't necessarily have to go that way, but it was a way to get Seth Rollins not liking either individual and setting up a feud for
I mean,
both guys afterwards.
I will say this. I like the fact that Wade Barrett stepped in and tried to get him to calm down after seeing him essentially elbow Adam Pearce. It's a nice touch. It's also a possibility. Like, have we really seen the end of Bad News Barrett in the ring? And almost every UK superstar that wasn't part of the Judgment Day felt it. They felt what was happening to McIntyre. They sympathized. And that's very rare.
Just going back to the match, the one thing I will say that was pretty interesting, that was like, wow, that happened, was when Drew javelined the ladder into Jey Uso. That was just sick.
Yeah, that was great, and plus it would kind of inspire, at least I think, what I like to think, a spot in the women's match that I'm sorry, I absolutely love, and we'll get to it because we all know who the real star of the women's match was.
Well, until we get to that match, how many stars do you give this one?
I will give it 3.
I think that's a good number as well. I give it 3 as well. Alright, then we have the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defeated Braun Breaker in 13 minutes and 15 seconds to retain the title. I think Sami is doing what he needs to do, and that's make superstars look like $1 million, having really good matches with guys that are, a little less than him right now.
Yeah, the thing is that they keep mentioning this every time. Sami looks like the underdog, despite the fact that he's the friggin' champion and he's the one with more experience. Back in the day, somebody like Braun Breaker would win the Intercontinental title almost immediately because it was a stepping stone to getting him into the world title. I think they absolutely made the right call here with Sami winning. It shows Braun is vulnerable. He's not not invincible. And they break away from their own formula of having the dominant monster capture a title immediately.
I agree. I think that this was well executed. How many stars do you give this one?
I don't think Braun suffered from it at all. I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Honestly, I agree with you. 4 stars. Then we have a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, or at least it was turned into a triple threat match when Drew McIntyre cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Damian Priest defeated Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre in 14 minutes and 40 seconds. I thought it was a decent match until that wet fart in church.
Well,
And once that botched happened between Priest and Seth, I kind of fell out of it, even though
yeah.
moments later Drew came in and did what he did.
Uh, yeah, and funny story and a funny statistic here. 50% of Money in the Bank winners named Damien have been successful in cashing in.
Oh, that's correct. It seems like Priest, even though he's like having decent matches, there is maybe that one blemish on each match. The one with McIntyre at Scotland, obviously he almost lost his leg. It didn't have to go that way. Um, he made it work afterwards. And then the botched in this match, it just seems like there's never that perfect moment for Priest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but once one time he does, and then it's gonna be banger after banger for Priest. I would almost guarantee it. Um, I mean, was it was it momentum? Was it gravity? Was it Priest's nerves? Did Seth screw up by accident?
Did the referee maybe fuck up here?
Oh God, that's what it was. Yeah, the referee deciding it was just a two. It if it was involved, if it had something else, I thought this was going to be how the Judgment Day helped Priest retain the title. Like they paid the referee off. Interesting. No, someone forgot to kick out. Which is like this was. I don't think this was the referee's fault.
Maybe
He wasn't.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it wasn't. We don't
I
necessarily
mean,
know.
I have a feeling that Drew's music was supposed to hit at the 2 count.
Ooh, okay. That maybe makes more sense.
And that distraction leads to the the breaking up of the pin, and then tries again, and then boom, kick out. And then Drew gets. I don't know if Drew gets screwed. I don't know if this is kind of like great writing for Drew to show how much CM Punk is screwing him over, just how big Punk's influence really is, especially at an event named Money in the Bank.
Right. Who's one of the most successful Money in the Bank people?
Let us not forget Money in the Bank 2011, Punk's last Money in the Bank appearance.
I think he made an appearance at 2012.
No. Nope. Yes. But no, 2013.
Okay.
2013. Heyman turned on him.
That's right.
But
he had the mutton chops.
Yeah. This was the night, Punk's contract expired, and he was walking out with the WWE Championship.
Right.
And the next night, boom, Cult of Personalities. it's, the fact that they didn't really kind of lean into that Money in the Bank really is Punk's match when you think about it.
Kind of, sort of,
I
I
mean-
would agree.
I mean, before they called it Edge's match. But Punk still has the distinction of being the only back-to-back winner.
And all of the major matches he's won at this event as well.
So a Money in the Bank streak.
So
You know what?
Yep.
You know what? Before we go on, I do have to say, whoever designed the graphics for this year, absolutely incredible.
you like the little Money in the Bank
Oh.
guys?
Oh, I loved it. I love those little heist guys. That was so perfect, so different, so unique.
It's definitely something they haven't done before. I really
Yeah,
like.
and I think they need they need the credit. They need to be recognized for the work they did.
How many stars do you give this one?
God, are we pre-McIntyre?
I mean McIntyre is it has to you have to include McIntyre.
I hate to do this. 2.5.
I was gonna be nice and give it 3, just for the simple fact that everything that happened with McIntyre and Punk somewhat avoided people's dismay from that horrible botch, and that's what I'll say about that. Now we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Chelsea Green, Io Sky.
No. Chelsea Green.
Yes, correct. Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Starks. In 16 minutes and 50 seconds. This wasn't perfect. There was more than a few botches, if I do say so myself.
You know what?
There were a lot of memorable moments.
Yes.
Mainly
Chelsea.
having to do with Chelsea Green.
Chelsea just try to just knock it down with the ladder. I felt so bad for Chelsea at that point. Oh my God, this poor girl, she's afraid of heights.
I just love the fact that she came out in all Canadian gear, and
Yes.
she was billed as from British Columbia, and Corey Graves was like, there's other parts of Canada. You just can't claim the whole country. She lives like 6 hours away.
I'm surprised Chelsea didn't come out to loot the mountain. It's strong. Loot the mountain.
But and I'll admit, when she was up there and she almost had it unclipped, I was cheering.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, come on, Chelsea.
Oh yeah.
That is how you get over that. And you know what? There's nobody else is responsible for that. That's all her.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that she is legit afraid of heights.
Really?
She's legit afraid of heights. And while she's been put through tables at normal heights, she's never fallen off a ladder through tables on the outside.
And I mean, those were pretty high ladders to begin with.
Yeah, and that was like a I don't want to say a rite of passage, or maybe a rite of passage of Chelsea stepping up and doing what we all kind of what the match needed, and what they needed was a ladder spot of somebody going through the tables. And that I gotta say, she did that perfectly. It was one of the most beautiful table spots I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And of course the interaction between Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, who are kind of two, not polar opposites, but almost polar, polar same. Like, okay, Tiffany's a daddy's girl, and Chelsea is just a Karen. It's like Tiffany's a Pokemon and she's waiting to evolve into a Karen. But that like chemistry, I really think Tiffany and Chelsea would work great as a tag team.
Yeah.
I mean, and I do have to say, you know what? I think the right person won. There, Tiffany Stratton she's now teetering on a face turn.
I mean, she has been. The only halt was, that one video she posted on Instagram.
Because remember, SummerSlam, Nia Jax and Bayley, but let's not forget Tiffany Stratton has hired Nia Jax. And here's the thing, is that on SmackDown last night, Tiffany had the opportunity. Tiffany had the chance, and she would have done it. She would have been able to do it. Nia stopped her, like, wait, what are you doing? It's like Tiffany's like, oh no, I'm just and Corey Graves was like, oh no, she's just going through a run through of what she'll need to do when she catches it. I'm like, wow, this is like, and I'm like, I kind of feel bad for Tiffany because it's like she's like, oh no, all right, no, I'm not into that. Okay, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. It's like, it's like the person, it's giving Tiffany humanity,
which we haven't seen a lot from her.
And that's like, that is how Money in the Bank makes somebody's career.
Obviously the fans have already decided that they like Tiffany Stratton and they're getting on the bandwagon. Whether or not being a face will work for Tiffany, it has yet to be seen. But I guess we'll see what happens there. Until we get there, how many stars do you give this one?
I'm gonna give this 4 stars.
I will give this 3.5. What I liked, but I can't necessarily overlook so many botches and bad shit that was in this match as well. The good shit was good, but the bad shit was bad as well. Right, and that brings us to our main event, and that is the Bloodline Solo Coca-Cola, um, the the NFT Tamatanga, and the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu. They defeated Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens in 24 minutes and 40 seconds. Um, I didn't think that this was a bad match. It was pretty decent. I'm happy that they're giving Cody Rhodes the same treatment that they gave Roman, and that is, if he's not the first match on the card, he's the last match on the card, which I think needs to be. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't think this should have main evented. This should have been the first match out. But everything that happened with Drew, I understand why. Um,
Honestly, I think the women's Money in the Bank match could have ended this pay-per-view.
uh, yeah, I can understand. I could get
I
that.
mean, it would have ended it on such a high note.
Yeah, I don't think
Uh,
anybody was hoping Solo Sikoa was going to win this
yeah,
match.
and,
So,
and again, a typical 6-man tag. There's no stakes.
I mean, they put the stakes in there, but because
It-
Solo won the match, he's obviously getting a title match against Cody at
uh,
SummerSlam.
that's the thing is that I still can't buy Solo as the new leader of the Bloodline.
I don't think you're supposed to, even though.
I mean,
Um,
last night last night he said if Roman should come back, let's not remember. Let us not forget. He told Paul Heyman Roman's never coming back. And then, of course, Paul Heyman in his 5 o'clock shadow got put through a table.
Yep.
He said when Roman comes back, Roman will acknowledge him as Roman's tribal chief.
well, he's definitely getting over as a heel, but I don't. Like I said, you're not supposed to believe that he's the tribal chief. Roman is the tribal chief. It's only to get under people's skin and make them cheer more for Roman. Which is just insane that he loses a match and he becomes literally the biggest babyface in the company and he's not even there.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's and when he comes back, it's literally going to be Roman versus the entire Samoan dynasty. And this is when The Rock will literally be the final boss.
Yeah, true. But I mean, that's what I was thinking was gonna be Survivor Series. You have Solo with his bloodline, the Tungans and Jacob, versus Roman and his bloodline, which
the
would
Usos,
be the
and
Usos and Sammy.
that would be oh if Roman comes back and there's interaction between Roman and Sammy and Roman actually asks for forgiveness, that's gonna push them to the moon.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna drive the crowd insane.
I don't think he could just out and say I'm sorry.
I know. So Roman will have to earn it.
It has to be, and I do feel like even though they wronged Sammy so much, Jay is still the hardest to get because of all of the gaslighting he did to him. And
I mean,
he's on Raw to avoid this drama, and Roman would want to bring him back into the drama.
well, here's the thing: is that Roman would probably be willing to say, I'm sorry. Watch my back from go to war with me one more time.
I would dare to say Roman would tell Jey Uso, I acknowledge you. Maybe not as tribal chief, but acknowledge his word.
I mean, and he tells the same to Jimmy, and he tells the same to Sammy.
I don't think it's Sammy and definitely not Jimmy.
Oh no! I mean, I acknowledge you as my friend and my family. Roman completely throws the idea of the tribal chief out the window.
Oh, he can't do that. I mean, that's what he's fighting for.
He absolutely can. He sees now how this system is kind of ruining the Samoan reputation. There's a lot more to come. This wasn't more than your average 6-man tag.
Yeah. I recently took a DNA test, and I found out that I was 0.1 part Samoan. So I will be joining the bloodline. In the coming weeks, I will have to help my tribal chief.
You know what? I found out I am actually I am 2% Canadian.
I'm so sorry for you.
I will have to let's see, who do I have to help first?
You have to help everybody. You're a friendly Canadian now.
Hello, buddy. What's it all about?
Don't call me buddy, pal.
Don't call me pal, Glenn. You're such a dick. You're such a dick, Scott.
Yeah, let's not get into this. So, how many stars you get this one?
Do I want to be nice? You know what? Fine. I'll give it 3.
I give it 3 as well. It did what it needed to do, and that was get Solo a title match. All right.
The last thing we have to talk about, which we kind of skipped over.
Oh, that's right. John Cena retiring, right?
Yep.
I guess we have to kind of talk about it.
Yeah. The man is serious. I mean, he's doing what kind of what Kijimuto is doing, but he's promising to actually make it the full year.
Yeah.
I mean,
WrestleMania.
No, it will go until December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he will go the whole year of 2025. This isn't something where WrestleMania will be the last. It'll just be his last WrestleMania. It'll just be his last Royal Rumble. It'll just be his last Survivor Series at SummerSlam.
So, if he's ending in December, we haven't had a pay preview in December for like the last 2 years. So.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they put together a John Cena retirement show.
Would that necessarily be as big as retiring at WrestleMania, though?
you see, that's the thing is that if he's already made the promise, and if he stops at WrestleMania, that hurts him
Right.
and his reputation.
No, I get that.
I mean,
So-
I think he's earned. I think he's earned it.
Definitely.
Nobody has worked harder to get where they are than John Cena. And you know what? The fact that he never turned heel.
Yeah. So, that being said, who do you think would be his last WrestleMania match, and who do you think is going to be his last match? I feel like it's somewhere in there of a match between him and Cody has to happen, right?
I'm thinking unless they're really trying to save Punk and McIntyre for WrestleMania, WrestleMania might be Cena and Punk.
I was thinking more Randy Orton and Cena.
Here's the thing though. It looks like Randy Orton. It looks like it's going to be Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
At Mania?
Yep.
No,
They've started laying the foundation for Randy's attempt at a 15th reign.
I mean, yeah, Randy is going to challenge Cody at some point, obviously. But,
I just don't want him to win a third Royal Rumble.
But I don't think it's going to be at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure The Rock and Cody is locked in for Mania, so I don't see him defending it twice.
Oh God, no! Oh, no!
Yeah?
No, do Rock and Roman at Mania.
There's a reason that it's in Las Vegas, Scooter, and this is the reason. So, obviously we're going to get Punk and Cena at some point.
I mean, there's the great there's a possibility that what if Cena actually does win the Rumble, and what if the question on everybody's mind is going to be, will Cena break the record?
No, he's not.
I have a feeling he will.
I don't think so.
I have a feeling they're going to go through some of his own opponents. I think there's at least one match with AJ Styles somewhere in there.
Oh yeah. Maybe AJ Cena for the last match.
That is a possibility. You know, I wouldn't even mind if they actually even did Rock and Cena as Cena's last match.
I don't think The Rock would do that, especially if it's in December and it's not WrestleMania and it's not the biggest match he could ever do in the whole entire world.
If Kurt Angle could still wrestle.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, watch it be Stone Cold.
God, no. Watch it be Ric Flair.
I mean, are we gonna try for dream matches? I mean,
a match against Nikki Bella.
John Cena versus Sting.
Oh, come on. Sting is retired now.
No, he's just tired.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
John Cena versus Darby Allin.
I think John Cena would actually do that match, but Darby would have to come to WWE to do that.
You know what? Screw it. Let's see Cena versus Nomichi Marufuji.
Ooh. Why am I saying ooh? Marufuji would beat the hell out of him.
Exactly.
Okay, I get you.
I think Cena needs to get one back over on Austin Theory. I think he needs to get one over on Grayson Waller. I believe there's going to be a tag team match, Cena and Pat McAfee against A-Town Downtown, A-Town Down Under.
And Solo Sikoa at some point as well.
I think there's potentially a match between John and Sammy.
Oh, that might be something, yeah.
I would also say John and KO.
Yeah. Possibly.
What? God, do you run? You know, I'd say do Cena and Nakamura.
I kind of feel like it's just gonna be, unless it's people he has gripes with, it's just gonna be the All Stars, which is Randy Orton, AJ Styles,
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
yeah.
There's clearly a match with Gunther in there.
I don't see a match.
There's gotta be.
Unless Gunther wins, I don't see what that would be a beneficial match.
I think yes, we're probably getting Cena and Punk with how much Punk is mentioned. How much he's thanked Cena.
Right. That was the name I was forgetting. Punk.
We're not. You know what I'd like? You know what I'd really like to see? Oh no, we already saw it. Never mind. John Cena teaming with Awesome Truth again.
Yeah, because it was his childhood hero.
Despite the fact that R-Truth is like a decade older than John Cena.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
God, should they do Cena and Miz one more time?
Maybe just as a farewell match. Yeah, for sure.
I would not mind if Cena and Miz was the last match.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Because with where Miz is now, he can do it, and at the same time, it will mean so much to both of them.
Right.
Because if there was no John Cena, there would be no Miz.
But we have over a year or two.
That's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah. All right. But just going back to Money in the Bank.
Oh, wait! John Cena versus Jon Stewart.
Oh, that match hasn't happened yet, has it?
Nope.
Actually, no. He attitude adjusted him, so.
Well, he needs to do it again. There needs to be screw it. You know what? John Cena and Adam Sandler against Jon Stewart, and the guy from Green Arrow.
Stephen Amell?
Yeah, Stephen Amell.
No.
Oh, maybe.
I got it. I have it. John Cena and Vin Diesel versus The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Oh,
it's a match of family.
Family.
Yeah, that's your last match right there. That's
it. But only if he comes out as Jacob Torretta.
I think we could make that work. And Jason Statham as the special guest referee.
They also need to do one more Southpaw Pro Wrestling thing with him as Lance Catamaran.
Well, if that indie fed is still around, then sure, why not?
Do
Do you think we'll see what was his gimmick name? The Machine again?
the Machine.
What was his name in OVW?
Doug Basham?
No, the prototype or the.
Oh, yeah, the prototype. That's what it was.
There you go. And we have to see Duggonomics at least one more time. Do we see Ruthless Aggression, John Cena?
No. I see Thugonomics, and I see Thugonomics working with Otis and what's left of Alpha Academy.
That would be interesting. Again, we have a whole year of predicting.
The year of living dangerously.
There you go.
The year of Johnny Dangerous.
Managed by Paul E. Dangerously.
And you know what? If we don't, we need to see Cena's father one more time.
Oh, definitely. Right. Going back to Money in the Bank, the show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Thumbs in the middle, leading towards up. It was okay. It really could have been better.
I agree, but I'll still give it thumbs up. It held my attention. I enjoyed what I saw, even though not all of it was great shit. Alright, I believe that will conclude our coverage of Money in the Bank in this episode as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and CastBox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Savannah Stone. This Wednesday as we interview Madness. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Twitter, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at Scooter Dust, and might be a couple of projects coming up in the works. You don't know, stay tuned to the social media.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.